Hey everyone, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the 2020 Mazda CX-30. This is a sound system demo. This is the premium package trim, and we've got the 12-speaker Bose audio system. So we're going to go through, take a look at the system, how it all works, talk about the settings, listen to some sample tracks, go out for a test drive, listen to those tracks on the road. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions at the end. So for this test, as we do with all of them, we've got a USB stick with uncompressed WAV audio files plugged directly into the system, and high-quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic sound system demo experience found on YouTube. And we always start these tests with the audio settings set to their factory defaults. However, we don't actually know exactly what the factory defaults are for some of these settings. So you've got your standard bass and treble. Let's go through those now. And you've got standard front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance. But then you've also got this Bose stereo mode, which kind of brings the sound a little bit further up into the cabin. You can see here for standard, it's kind of all the speakers equally. In linear mode, focuses the sound a little bit more in the front. It's very subtle. So we're gonna leave that on standard for the test. Then you've got Bose Centerpoint. Now what this does is it creates kind of an artificial 3D experience. So you listen here. Now it sounds like the sound's coming from a little bit more all around the cabin. And then there are a few different levels of adjustment of that. Typically, I like a 3D audio experience. However, this Bose Centerpoint system kind of makes it sound very hollow and artificial, so I'm going to leave that off for the test. And then Bose Audio Pilot, what that does is it actually has a microphone in the vehicle, and as road noise and other sounds get louder in the car, it automatically matches the volume of your music to compensate for that. So we're going to leave that on 1. Okay, so all those settings narrowed out. Now this system, for those of you who aren't familiar with how Mazda's infotainment systems work, this is not a touchscreen. Nothing you do up here picks up. Everything is controlled through this center area, and I actually really appreciate that. A lot of systems have a touchscreen and a center knob, and they're not all created equal. This one works really well. It's intuitive. It's got a nice click. Listen to this. You can hear it over the music. Very solid feel. And there are a lot of different ways to control it. So you can sort of scroll through a lot of stuff. You can see my track list is coming up here. You can hit home, go straight to the home menu. Everything looks very elegant, easy to read while you're driving. You can go straight back to the music by hitting that button. Press down on it for a menu, and you have folders, all sorts of different controls. And then to go through tracks, you can press right and left on the volume knob. So it's very simple. As you're driving along, you can just kind of have your hand here, adjust the volume, and be like, nah, I don't like that track. On to the next one. No, not this one. On to the next one. Super simple. And if you don't even want to take your hand off the wheel, up here you've got volume controls up and down, as well as mute, which is nice. And you've got track controls right here. No gimmicks, nothing weird like that. It just works. So let's hop out, take a quick look at the car, and go through all the speaker grills. So this is Mazda's newest vehicle on the lineup. Kind of slots in a little larger than the CX-3, but smaller than the CX-5. I don't know why they didn't just call it a CX-4, but it seems like Mazda's trying to get up with a new naming scheme here. It's a really excellent car. Loved driving it around. Got a lot of good things about it. If you want to see the full review, check the link in the description. We'll have that up when it goes live. Just take a look at back here. Not a huge fan of the powered liftgate. I think in a car this size, just have a manual one, but it is what it is. So no obvious speaker grills here, but you do have a subwoofer right here, mounted into the spare. So you can feel that doing a little bit of work right now as the music's sort of softly playing. So there's one. Oh, forgot that's powered. Then the back seat, you've got 2, 3 speakers. I think that's about it for the back row. Let's double check, make sure we don't have any hiding back here. Oh, yep, we do. 4, 5 on that side. Then up front, we've got 6. Anything more? 7 right there. 8, 9 on the other door. Oh, there's got to be some up here. Well, I know you've got 10 in the center. There must be 2 side-mounted speakers that I'm missing. Alright, well, it's possible that there are 2 speakers hiding behind one of those grills that we saw, or there are another 2 speakers that I missed on the side of the vehicle. Either way, let's get into it here. Now the audio does shut off when you start the car, so that's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. A bigger pet peeve is cars that don't keep playing the music once you shut the car off. So say you drove around, you get home, you're listening to a good song, you want to finish it out, but you don't need your engine just sitting there idling, and you shut it off, boom, audio is gone. And that's kind of a thing you see in a lot of Japanese cars, but more and more of them, especially those sold in the American market, are starting to leave the radio on for a minute or so after you shut it off. So, just a little disappointing not to see that here. Oh, I didn't realize I was going so loud. Now that we're getting up to 70 miles per hour, turn the music off for a quick sec here and let you hear what the CX-30 sounds like at speed. Now mind you, it is a little wet out this morning, so you might hear a little extra road noise thanks to the water, but you get a good idea of wind noise. So overall, pretty quiet cabin. Wind noise is actually really good for a car of this size and class and price. You do hear a good amount of the road, but nothing too surprising there. Now this is strange. The audio system isn't adjusting volume. You guys see this? I'm changing it. Look at it, I got it all the way maxed out, all the way down to nothing. Nothing's happening. Huh. Well, you guys saw it here, we broke the CX-30's audio system. Let's kind of change tracks. Well, we are going to have to do some diagnostics here. Let's see if we can hold down the power button and get a restart of the system. Still holding the power button. What if we change inputs? Nope, nothing there either. Well, that's a bit disappointing. We're gonna have to pull off and restart the vehicle. See what we can get here. Fortunately, there's not gonna be a great place to do that for a minute, so hang tight. So a restart didn't do it. I'm gonna go over Sirius XM, nothing. Let's try a restart and departure from the vehicle. Get out, lock it, get back in. Okay. Are we still not having it here? No audio. Boy, is that frustrating. Is there any way that we can reset it? Let's see. System settings. Restore all factory settings. Yeesh, alright. Let's try it. Oh, well, this is a bummer, guys, because the Bose system in the CX-30 is actually quite good. And I was looking forward to communicating that to you all and demonstrating it. Fortunately, we got some listening in. Let's see. USB. Hey, look at that. So factory restart did it. All right. Let's hit the road again. We'll wrap this up. So now that we're up and running again here, final thoughts on the CX-30's 12-speaker Bose system. It's pretty decent. It's not the best system I've ever tested by any means. However, when you're considering this car starts down in the low 20s and as optioned about $31,000, it does a pretty good job. I was expecting a little bit more bass. You kind of have to pump up the bass settings manually or listen to a track that's really bass heavy to get much of a thump. So I would like to hear just a little bit more strong, fulfilling bass come through on just kind of your standard audio tracks. I think a good example of that would be this guitar track I have here. Let's listen for a quick sec. When the bass guitar comes in after about 20 seconds or so, maybe it's 30 seconds, a great system, you'll really hear just like a satisfying bass guitar note come in. And this one, it's there, it's just not really as heavy as a really good system would do. Let's listen. It's pretty good, don't get me wrong. It's not weak, it's just that it doesn't, it should come from more of the back of the vehicle. The best systems I've reviewed, bass just really, it sounds like it's coming through underneath you, and it just kind of rattles your chest cavity. But I'm not saying I expect the CX-30 to really be at that luxury car level. I'm just kind of telling you what top is. I do appreciate the different settings that the Bose system offers. Not a huge fan of the surround system, like I mentioned. In a lot of the Harman systems, I do appreciate that surround soundness to an extent, but not necessarily in the Bose 12-speaker and the CX-30. So if I were giving an objective numerical rating to this system, I'd give it about a 7. Probably a 7. It's good all around. The bass is good, the treble's good, the mid-range is good, nothing's outstanding, but what it results in is a very well-rounded, solid system for this price point. The other thing that helps out the system is the fact that it's so intuitive and works so nicely. That helps bump it up a bit too, so you might even want to give it about a 7.5 if you really like the way that the sound system all works. Oh, I forgot to mention, in terms of audio inputs, sources for this CX-30, you got your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM. You also have USB, Bluetooth. So what are you missing? You don't have a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, and you don't have a CD player. Those are becoming less and less common these days, but still would be nice to see. For subjective rating, given the price of the vehicle, this class, I'd say it'd probably be fair to give this about a 7.5 or an 8. It's really strong for this kind of larger subcompact, smaller compact SUV class. All in all, I hope you guys are able to get a good example of the Mazda CX-30 12-speaker Bose sound system. It's a shame that it kind of pooped out on us there in the middle, but either way, got a good video out of it. If you liked the video, please hit that subscribe button. Check out the full review on the CX-30. Check out some of our other videos. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and we'll see you on the next one. Drive on.